What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Double G Gaming, and today I'm doing something a little bit differently. I am ranking every WWE pay-per-view of 2017 from worst to best. But in this case, it could be from worst to a little bit not as worst. So let's get straight to it. There are 16 pay-per-views in total. Let's start with number 16. Fastlane. Keep in mind, this is all in my opinion. So, with that being said, let's get right into it. Fastlane should be called Fastlane. I mean, look at up and down this card, nothing really excites me. I mean, Samoa Joe versus Sami Zayn was decent, but it didn't really live up to expectations. We were supposed to see Seth Rollins versus Samoa Joe probably at Fastlane, but we didn't get it due to Seth Rollins being injured. Enzo and Cass lose once again. They failed to claim the tag titles, and then Nia Jax loses to Sasha Banks. I don't know what they were doing with Nia Jax. I mean, come on. You also had a couple squash matches in the middle of the show. Cesaro versus Jinder Mahal for no reason, and then Big Show kills Rusev for no reason, who we thought was getting a push, but apparently not. Gets squashed by Big Show. Neville versus Gallagher, just somebody for Neville to get through on the road to WrestleMania. Then boring match, Borman Lames, otherwise known as Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman. Obviously had to set up the match with Undertaker, had to make him beat Braun Strowman. And then two weird booking decisions happened at this pay-per-view as well. Now, one of them I understand, but another one I don't. The one that I don't understand, why did Charlotte lose her undefeated pay-per-view title streak here at Fastlane? It didn't make no sense. And then Bayley won her women's title here. They should have waited until WrestleMania 33 to have that payoff. Have Bayley eliminate Charlotte, ending her pay-per-view streak, and also winning the championship for the first time. And then you had Goldberg, otherwise known as Oldberg, win the Universal Championship by beating Kevin Owens. Now, I'm not a Kevin Owens fan personally, but I would have preferred to have seen Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho for the Universal title. I think that would have added a lot to their match at Mania. Instead, it was for the US title, and the match seemed a little flat to me. So yeah, Fastlane, worst pay-per-view of 2017. Number 15, Great Balls of Fire. Great Balls of Fire was added midway through the summer of 2017. And I can understand why they're not bringing it back for 2018. I mean, Samoa Joe lost to 1F5. I'm starting it straight off with the main event. He lost to 1F5 after like a 6 to 9 minute match. I can't remember how long it was, but it was not that long. Joe had the advantage the whole match, and then he just loses to 1F5. Come on now. Then Strowman versus Roman again in an ambulance match. Strowman wins. Roman kills him in an ambulance, and there's no repercussion for that. What? Kurt Angle, what are you doing with your life? Come on. You punish Strowman all the time for killing Kane, but you don't punish Reigns? That don't make no sense. So, we also had, after that, we had Heath Slater versus Curtis Axel. Why couldn't you just end the pay-per-view earlier than, like, you did? What is this match adding to the pay-per-view? Nothing. The Women's Championship and the Intercontinental Championship. Tell me if you remember what happened, because I don't. Hardys facing off against Cesaro again for the tag titles. I mean, come on. The tag titles, ever since WrestleMania, I mean, even before that, but since WrestleMania, they have just been the Bar versus somebody for 3 straight pay-per-views, and then somebody else for another 3 straight pay-per-views, so on and so forth. Come on. Hardys versus Cesaro, I could care less about that match. Big Cass and Enzo Amore in a who gives a you-know-what match. And then Bray Wyatt loses to Seth Rollins, and this is the downfall of Bray Wyatt. This is when people started really to sour on Bray Wyatt, I believe. I mean, they started to do it like at Payback at the House of Horrors, but Great Balls of Fire, he lost again. People were like, alright, we've just seen enough. And I've seen enough of Great Balls of Fire. Number 14, Payback. We had the Hardys beating Sheamus and Cesaro, the first match of their series, so to speak. I mean, it wasn't that bad. We also got Cesaro turning heel, which was fine with me. It turned that team into what it is today, the Bar. I mean, that team has been good, but I just don't like that they've been facing off against the same two opponents every single time. Austin Aries loses the beginning of what would be like 4 straight losses for him at pay-per-views. Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens. I cannot remember what happened in that match. You probably can't either. I mean, it was probably more forgettable than the WrestleMania match. Alexa won the Women's Championship after giving it to Bayley 2 months earlier, and that just showed WWE has no faith in Bayley, at the time at least. Seth Rollins versus Samoa Joe, something that was built up since February. Nothing came out of it. I don't remember that match. Do you remember that match? There's a lot of forgettable stuff on these pay-per-views, and I think it was because it was not dual branded. If they do bring back dual brand pay-per-views, I think that will be a lot better for the matches and stuff. Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman to end the show. I mean, what else would you have ended this pay-per-view with? Pick any match on this card and you could have ended it. Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman, snooze fest until the end when Roman Reigns got killed by Braun Strowman. I don't know, he got taken to the back, just dragged. And obviously, who could forget the best match on the card, the House of Horrors match. So much potential for this match, but it turned out to be a cheesy cringe fest. Bray Wyatt, I don't even know why it wasn't for the WWE Championship. That was one of the reasons why this match people didn't like. Why wasn't it for the WWE Championship? And also Jinder Mahal came out at the end. I mean, that was pretty good. I mean, but overall that match sucked. And overall, Payback sucked. Number 13. Backlash. We had the Usos versus Breezango in what was a comedy match. Throwing a dress into JBL was probably the highlight of that match. I mean, it was a fun match, but for the tag titles, I mean, put that on the pre-show, please. Also, we had Baron Corbin versus Sami Zayn. Again, who cares about that match? Who cares about Baron Corbin? Nobody does. This was right after the brand split, the downfall for SmackDown, at least for the women's division, in my opinion. 6-woman tag. That was the beginning of the end. They just started doing so many 6-woman tag matches since then, and I hated that match. We also had Harper versus Rowan. Why? If you were gonna put them together again, stop having them split up, then put them back together. You know you're gonna keep Harper and Rowan. Harper and Rowan will forever be linked to each other. You can say that they won't be linked to Bray Wyatt or Braun Strowman, but Harper and Rowan for some reason always get stuck together at the end of everything. Also, Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles and Nakamura versus Dolph Ziggler was a disappointing match. I mean, I knew that Dolph Ziggler could not give Nakamura a great match. From previous NXT debuts, they all faced off against Dolph Ziggler, and he did not deliver a good match with any of them. So, I mean, I didn't really get my hopes high for Nakamura versus Ziggler, but it was still a disappointing match for the talent that was in the ring. We ended off with Jinder Mahal winning the WWE Championship. I mean, at the time it was shocking, but at the end of it, what came out of it? Nothing. Jinder is right back where he started. He talks way too low. That's part of the reason why I think he failed. Nobody could hear him through the speakers in the stadiums or in the arenas. Number 12. No Mercy. Let's start with the good. I mean, the tag team match obviously was good. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose versus the Bar. Once again, I'm a fan of the Bar, but I'm not a fan of how many times they face their opponents. But that match was good at No Mercy. And also, I mean, the 5-way women's match, it was what it was. 5 women going at each other. I was fine with that match as well. Enzo winning the Cruiserweight title. Everybody wanted Enzo Amore to get. I have more problem with the fans than what happened. Everybody wanted Enzo to be in the Cruiserweight division. He comes into the Cruiserweight division, he wins the title, people are mad. Now, I understand that the Cruiserweight division is for people that can actually wrestle in the ring, but the way that WWE was setting it up, they wanted it to be more about the characters. So, Enzo winning it made sense, but I understand him beating Neville didn't make no sense. So that was a waste of title change, I guess. Also, we had The Miz versus Jason Jordan in a Who Gives a match. Again, a Who Cares match. And then it was headlined by, I guess, 3 matches, you could say. Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor again for the third straight time in a, like, was it a grudge match? I don't remember if it was a grudge match or not. I don't remember if this was the third or fourth times they met each other in like 2 months. So nobody cared about this match. Finn Balor wasn't even. They had already had the blow off with the Demon character at SummerSlam. Why have that match again at No Mercy? And Finn Balor went back to being the regular Finn. Made no sense. Then Cena versus Reigns. Reigns bores me to death. He gets the victory. Never in a lifetime. Never again, please. Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman. Kind of like the same situation with Samoa Joe at Great Balls of Fire. I mean, Braun Strowman dominated most of the match. Then Brock Lesnar wins with 1 F5 in like a 10-minute match. Horrible. Please show me mercy. Number 11. Money in the Bank. Breezango versus The Ascension. I mean, I can stop right there. The title matches sucked. Lana versus Naomi. I never want to see that ever again in my life. They squashed what Lana had as momentum at the time, coming back from like a year absence from the ring. I mean, she was there with Rusev obviously, but she wasn't in the ring for like since WrestleMania of the previous year. They should have just put her in the ladder match. I mean, you already had Tamina in it. I mean, how much worse could you get? And then the tag team title match. It was a count out. I hate it when it ends in countouts or disqualifications, even though I know they're gonna have a better match down the line. And it was the Usos versus the New Day who did deliver in matches to come, so I'll give them a pass there. But I didn't like the count out for this pay-per-view. The ladder matches were good. Obviously, the women's ladder match, getting destroyed by James Ellsworth. I don't know why he didn't just help Carmella climb. That would have been a lot better than him just grabbing the briefcase himself and then tossing it to Carmella. Good match, bad winner. Corbin ended up not cashing in. What was the point of him winning? Should have just let Nakamura win. You know what I'm saying? And something that was cool and something that was foreshadowing was AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura, because it looks like we're going to get it at WrestleMania 34 as of this recording. Who knows? This is before Fastlane. Who's calling me? Oh, and they hang up right away. This is after Fastlane 2018, so who knows if AJ Styles successfully defended the title. He probably did though. Who am I kidding? So Money in the Bank doesn't live up to the name. Not a good pay-per-view, at least the 2017 edition. Number 10. TLC. Alright, so I'll start it off with the women's division. We had Alexa Bliss versus Mickie James. I mean, Alexa Bliss is good on the mic, but in matches, she doesn't really do it for me. I mean, she's good, but she's not great. And then also we had Asuka debut, and that was the last match we saw of Emma in WWE. They had a good 10-minute match. I mean, it was fine for what it was. People said they should have just let Asuka run through Emma, but I was fine with what they did there. Cruiserweights again, drag it down. Jordan versus Elias. I mean, Jason Jordan, you can't hang with anybody, and you lose all the time. I don't know what happened here. I can't remember. You probably do. You probably don't. It was another who gives a match, once again, at a pay-per-view. Finn Balor versus AJ Styles, a dream match that everybody wanted, and we got it because Bray Wyatt or Sister Abigail got the meningitis or the flu or whatever it was. And also, we didn't get Roman Reigns on this pay-per-view. 3-on-5 handicap match. It had its moments here and there. Overall, I thought it was a decent match. You know, not that good, not that bad. Right in the middle, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it just had too many, like, it was just too much going on for me to, you know. I don't know why it was a 3-on-5 handicap in the beginning. Why did Kane come back? Why did they turn on Braun Strowman? But I like the match. And TLC, I mean, it's ranked number 10. It's still not pretty good. It's still not bad. It's just there. You know what I'm saying? Finn Balor versus AJ Styles was the saving grace. And obviously, no Roman Reigns.